Las Vegas, Dunes. Hotel and Casino. October 1970. Maria Gonzalez was cleaning Dean Martin's dressing room when she started crying. She didn't mean to. She'd promised herself she'd hold it together. Just finish her shift, go home, figure out how to tell her 3 kids they were losing the apartment. But standing there with the vacuum cleaner in one hand and an eviction notice in her pocket, the tears came before she could stop them. Dean walked in to find her leaning against the makeup counter, shoulders shaking, trying to muffle the sound so nobody would hear. "Hey," he said gently, and she jumped, embarrassed, wiping her face with the back of her hand. "I'm so sorry, Mr. Martin. I'll finish quickly." He held up his hand. "Don't apologize. What's wrong?" Maria looked at him. Dean Martin, the biggest star in Vegas, asking a housekeeper what was wrong. And something broke. "They haven't paid us," she said, voice cracking. 6 weeks? I've worked 6 weeks, and they haven't paid me. I'm going to lose my apartment. My kids." She couldn't finish. Dean's face changed. Not anger yet, just focused attention. "Who hasn't paid you?" "The casino? Management keeps saying, next week. But next week never comes. And now my landlord gave me an eviction notice. 3 days? I have 3 days to pay $480, or we're out." She pulled the crumpled paper from her pocket, showed him. Her hands were shaking. "I have 3 kids, Mr. Martin. Ages 6, 8, and 10. If we lose the apartment, I don't know where we'll go. My family's in Mexico. I have nobody here. We'll be on the street." Dean took the eviction notice, read it, handed it back. "How many other workers haven't been paid?" "All of us. The housekeepers, the dealers, the kitchen staff. Maybe 140 people. Some haven't been paid in 8 weeks. We can't quit because then we lose the back pay. We can't sue because we don't have money for lawyers. We're trapped." "Why haven't you been paid?" "They say cash flow problems, new ownership, restructuring. But the casino's full every night. People are gambling, there's money. They're just not paying us." Dean asked her to wait, left the dressing room, found the casino general manager Richard Brennan in his office. Brennan looked up from paperwork, smiled that automatic Vegas smile. "Dean, opening night tomorrow, you ready? Your workers haven't been paid in 6 weeks. The smile faltered. "We've had some temporary cash flow issues. You've got a full casino downstairs. You have cash flow. It's complicated. Ownership transition, new banking relationships. It's not complicated. You owe your workers money. Pay them." Brennan leaned back, trying to regain control of the conversation. "Dean, I appreciate your concern, but this is an internal matter. We're working on it." "How long have you been working on it?" "We've told the staff we'll have it resolved by next month." "Next month? People are losing their homes this week. I just talked to a woman who's getting evicted in 3 days. She has 3 kids. We're doing everything we can." "You're doing everything except paying people who worked for you. That's wage theft. It's illegal." Brennan's expression hardened. "Dean, I need you to stay out of this. We have a show tomorrow night. 500 guests. Let's focus on that." Dean stood up. "Here's what's going to happen. You're going to pay your workers by tomorrow morning. All of them. Full back pay, 6 weeks of wages." "That's not possible." "Then I'm not performing." Brennan laughed, thinking it was a negotiation tactic. "Dean, you're under contract. You can't just... Watch me." Dean walked out, went back to Maria's cleaning cart in the hallway. "Maria, I need you to do something for me. Get a list of every worker who hasn't been paid. Names, how much they're owed, how long it's been. Can you do that?" She nodded, still crying, but now with something like hope in her eyes. "Yes, Mr. Martin. Bring it to my dressing room by tonight, and tell your landlord you're paying tomorrow." "But I don't have..." "You will." That night, Maria brought him a handwritten list. 140 names. Dollar amounts next to each one. The total at the bottom, $380,000. 6 weeks of wages for housekeepers, dealers, servers, cooks, maintenance workers. The backbone of the casino. All unpaid. Dean studied the list. Saw Maria's name, $720 owed. 6 weeks at $120/week. Not enough to live on even when she was getting paid. Impossible without it. He saw other names, other amounts. Jose Ramirez, dishwasher, $600. Patricia Williams, cocktail waitress, $890. Frank Chen, dealer, $1,240. All with families, all with rent and bills and groceries and lives that couldn't pause while management fixed their cash flow problems. The next morning, Dean called Richard Brennan. Did you pay your workers? Dean, I told you, we're working on it. By next month. It's opening night. 500 guests arriving at 7 p.m. I need an answer. Did you pay your workers? No, but Dean hung up. At 6:45 p.m., the Dunes showroom was packed. 500 guests in evening wear, dealers fresh from the casino floor, high rollers who'd flown in from L.A. and New York. The room buzzed with energy and expensive perfume and the clink of cocktail glasses. At 6:55, the house lights dimmed. The band started playing Dean's intro music. The announcer's voice boomed, "Ladies and gentlemen, the Dunes Hotel and Casino is proud to present Mr. Dean Martin." The curtain opened. The spotlight hit the stage. Dean walked out to thunderous applause, stood at the microphone, let the applause build, then fade, then spoke. "Thank you for coming tonight. I appreciate it. I really do, but I can't perform." Confused murmurs rippled through the audience. The Dunes Hotel and Casino hasn't paid its workers in 6 weeks. 140 people who clean your rooms, deal your cards, serve your drinks, cook your food, they haven't been paid. Some are losing their homes, some can't feed their families. And management keeps telling them next week. But next week never comes. The room went completely silent. I can't stand here and entertain you while the woman who cleaned my dressing room this afternoon is 3 days away from being homeless with 3 kids. I can't sing while dealers are choosing between paying rent and buying groceries. I won't. He looked directly at where he knew Brennan was sitting. So here's what's going to happen. Management is going to pay these workers tonight. Full back pay. Or I'm walking off this stage and I'm not coming back. You have 500 guests expecting a show. You have a 2-week contract with me worth $3 million in revenue. And you have 140 workers who've been waiting 6 weeks for money they earned. Pay them, I'll perform. Don't pay them, find another headliner. He set the microphone down and walked off stage. The showroom erupted. Not in applause, in chaos. Guests shouting questions, management rushing toward exits, casino executives converging backstage. Dean went to his dressing room, sat down, waited. 10 minutes later, Brennan burst through the door, face red, shaking with rage. "You just cost us $200,000? Pay your workers. You can't blackmail us." "I'm not blackmailing you. I'm refusing to work for a company that steals from its employees." "We're not stealing." "Yes, you are. You had them work. You didn't pay them. That's theft. Pay them or I leave." "We don't have the cash tonight. You have a casino with 3,000 people gambling downstairs. You have cash. Wire it, write checks, hand them money from the cage. I don't care how. But they get paid tonight, or every entertainer in Vegas hears about this, and you'll never book another show." Brennan left. 20 minutes later, he came back. "We can pay them over 6 months, installments." "No, full payment, tonight." "That's not reasonable." "Neither is working for 6 weeks without pay. They've been reasonable for 6 weeks. Your turn." Brennan tried a different angle. "Dean, we're on your side. We want to pay them. But liquidating that much cash tonight? Figure it out." Dean stood up, started taking off his tuxedo jacket. "I'm going to my hotel. When your workers are paid, all of them, verified, call me. Until then, I'm done." He left through the back entrance, got in his car, drove to the Sands where he was staying. In his hotel room, he called Frank Sinatra. "Frank, I need you to do something." "What's going on?" Dean explained. "The unpaid workers, Maria, and her kids, the canceled show. That's why I need you to call every headliner you know. Tell them don't work at the Dunes until this gets fixed. They're stealing from workers. We can't let them get away with it." Frank was quiet for a moment. "They won't pay them, Dean. They'll drag this out, wait for you to fold. Then I'll never work there again. And neither will anyone else if I have anything to say about it. I'll make the calls." By midnight, word had spread through Vegas. Dean Martin canceled his opening night show, walked off stage, refused to perform until workers were paid. Other entertainers heard about it. Sammy Davis Jr. canceled his upcoming show at the Dunes. Joey Bishop did the same. Within 24 hours, the Dunes couldn't book talent. Their showroom, the heart of any Vegas casino, the draw that kept high rollers coming, was empty. No shows meant no guests. No guests meant no gambling. The casino started hemorrhaging money. 2 days after Dean walked off stage, the Nevada Labor Commissioner got involved. Dean had filed a formal complaint, included Maria's list of 140 workers, attached documentation. The state investigated, found the Dunes had violated Nevada wage laws, which required payment within 7 days of the end of a pay period. 6 weeks late wasn't a technicality, it was criminal. The Gaming Control Board, which regulated casinos, started asking questions. Casino licenses could be suspended for violating labor laws. The Dunes ownership, a financial group that had bought the property 6 months earlier, held an emergency meeting. They had a choice: pay $380,000 in back wages or lose their gaming license, which would cost them millions. They borrowed the money. On October 15, 1970, 4 days after Dean walked off stage, all 140 workers got checks, full back pay, 6 weeks of wages. Maria Gonzalez got $720, paid her rent that afternoon. Her kids stayed in their apartment. Other workers paid overdue bills, bought groceries, caught up on car payments. Lives that had been teetering on collapse stabilized. Dean verified the payments personally, called Maria, called other workers, made sure the checks cleared. Only then did he agree to perform. On October 16th, Dean took the stage at the Dunes. The showroom was full again, but different now. Workers in the audience, invited by Dean. Maria sat in the second row with her 3 kids, wearing the nicest clothes she owned. When Dean walked on stage, the applause was different too. Not just entertainment industry politeness, real gratitude. He saw Maria, nodded to her. She was crying again, but different tears this time. Dean did his show, sang, told jokes, charmed the room like always. But everyone there knew this wasn't just entertainment. It was a statement that workers matter, that talent has power, and power comes with responsibility, that you don't entertain for people who steal from the vulnerable. After the show, Dean called Maria to his dressing room, handed her an envelope. "What's this?" she asked. "Emergency fund for workers. I'm putting in $50,000. It's going to be distributed to people who got hit hardest. Anyone facing eviction, utilities getting shut off, medical bills they couldn't pay during the 6 weeks. You're getting $2,000. That's 4 months' rent. Breathing room." Maria started crying. "Again, Mr. Martin, I can't." "You already did. You worked for 6 weeks with no pay, and you didn't quit because you needed the back wages. You chose between feeding your kids and keeping your job. That's not a choice anyone should have to make." She took the envelope with shaking hands. "Thank you," she whispered. "Thank you for telling me," Dean said. "Most people would have stayed quiet, afraid of losing their job. You spoke up. That's why this got fixed." But Dean didn't stop there. He hired a lawyer, filed a complaint with the Nevada Gaming Commission. Not just about the Dunes, about the systemic problem. Casinos across Vegas did this. Delayed paychecks? Counted on workers being too scared to complain. The Gaming Commission investigated and found Dean was right. Multiple casinos had wage violations. The commission implemented a new rule. All casinos must maintain a wage reserve account, an escrow fund specifically for payroll, untouchable for other expenses. If workers went unpaid for more than 7 days, the casino's license would be automatically suspended, pending investigation. Dean's stand at the Dunes became the catalyst for that change. By refusing to perform, by using his platform to expose wage theft, he forced the industry to reform. 50 years later, in 2020, Maria Gonzalez was still alive. 95 years old, living with her daughter in Henderson. A reporter from the Las Vegas Review-Journal found her after researching Dean Martin's impact on Vegas. Asked her about 1970. "I was going to be homeless," Maria said, hands still steady as she showed the reporter a faded photo of Dean from that night. 3 kids, 3 days until eviction, no money, no options. I was cleaning his dressing room, crying, and he saw me. He asked what was wrong. And when I told him, he didn't just feel sorry for me. He did something. He walked off stage during a sold-out show. He refused to perform until all 140 of us got paid. He cost the casino hundreds of thousands of dollars. He risked his career. For me, for us. The reporter asked if she'd ever thanked him. I tried, many times. He always said the same thing. "You earned that money. I just made sure you got it." Maria died 3 months later, December 2020. Her daughter found something in her belongings. The eviction notice from October 1970, folded carefully, saved for 50 years. On the back, Maria had written in Spanish, El día que Dean Martin salvó a mi familia. Nunca olvidaré. The day Dean Martin saved my family, I will never forget. At Dean's funeral in 1995, 25 years earlier, Maria had been there. 70 years old then, standing with other Vegas workers who'd been unpaid in 1970. She'd been asked to speak. Mr. Martin could have ignored me, she'd said, voice strong even through tears. I was nobody, a housekeeper, one of hundreds. He was Dean Martin. He could have done his show, collected his paycheck, gone home. Instead, he walked off stage. He refused to perform while we starved. He fought for us when we couldn't fight for ourselves. He didn't just get us our money back. He changed the law. He made Vegas safer for every worker who came after us. I raised 3 children because of him. They went to college. They have good lives. All because Dean Martin saw me crying and refused to look away.